Hello peeps, welcome back to Sundays with Sparky. Apologies for last week and not getting one up. The editing software that I've been using kind of died. Well, it didn't really die, it just wasn't rendering stuff that I needed it to render. And so I had to stop using it because I couldn't make the videos that I wanted to make with it. Which is unfortunate because it wasn't particularly cheap or free or like some other software is. So I was a little bit disappointed, and I didn't really get much help from the support forums and stuff like that. So I have got I found another software, editing software to use for the time being. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I seem to do this a lot, that I'll be able to get my computer upgraded within the next 2 to 3 weeks possibly. So I'll probably have to upgrade the editing software again when that happens, but so that's why there wasn't one last week. I wanted to get the videos out that I wanted to make the best I could. Big Deck Player video went out on Wednesday, which has done really surprisingly well. I'm just going to check how many views it's got. I wasn't expecting it to get very many views, particularly, although I had put a lot of effort into it. Well, so I say a lot of effort, more effort than I have on previous videos anyway, and it's not doing it. Do it. I'm just checking it. Shh. 382 views. It's like, what? Where did that come from? It's incredible. So if you were one of the people that watched it, thank you. If you're one of the people that gave it a thumbs up, gave it a like, then thank you even more, because that's amazing. I really didn't expect it to get that many views as quickly as it did, considering I've only got, what, 35, 36 subscribers. Oh, and a thank you and a hello to all the new subscribers as well. The more the merrier. I'll give you a big hug if I could. Imagine a big internet hug. So thank you. So second Big Deck Player will be coming out on Monday. We'll be focusing on a Paladin deck, and we'll also have some more Van Helsing and some more Wolf Among Us. I managed to get all the Wolf Among Us stuff that I've recorded already rendered over the weekend, so that should be going out next week. And I've got some more to record of that, and as I say, I've got some more Big Deck Players to record, and yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it as far as like what I've been playing. I've just been playing tons of Hearthstone because I've been trying out all these new decks that I keep finding, trying to make my own ones, and ranking up. I'm now at 3-star diamond, but I've hit a brick wall. I just cannot get through that brick wall, and I think it's mostly the deck that I've been using. I've been using my own creation of a priest deck, which I might do a spotlight on at some point as well in the future. But I just it doesn't have any. It has one legendary in it, but I very rarely use it because it's like a 9 cost. So it's like you could use this one thing this turn when you've got 10 mana, or you can use like other things. So it's like I could play it but then not heal myself, or I could heal myself and play something else instead. Yeah, it's very situational, and I think the deck was great up until I got to 3-star diamond, and I've had to make a few changes, but I don't think it's going to get any further, unfortunately. So I might have to, I think what I might do is just change it back to how it was, and leave it there just until I've done the spotlight, and then just make a whole new deck with completely different stuff. Yes, so I wanted to get into the Battlefield 4 beta. This is all stuff that I was going to talk about last week, but never did. I wanted to get into Battlefield 4 beta. Put my teeth back in. But the problem was the beta for PC was only on 64-bit operating systems, and mine is a 32. I was gutted. I was like, yes, I'll be able to get some Battlefield 4 videos. It'll be awesome. No, I won't. And the beta's finished now, so that's the end of that. When I get my PC upgraded, it will be a 64-bit operating system, but by then it'll be too late. And I got all excited for it as well, because it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully this year, when they bring out Battlefield, that they won't screw over the PC players and have it not work properly, and like it was last year. Last year was absolutely terrible. Like the first 3 months, I think, on PC was virtually unplayable for me. That I just kept getting crashes, and I think it was because of the graphics card support. I think last year it was all about Nvidia, whereas this year I think it's all about AMD, and I think I should be okay with that. But horrible. The first 3 months, I just couldn't play it. And then when I did start playing it, by that point it was full of hackers. I was just gutted because it looked like it was going to be a lot of fun. And sometimes it was fine, and you could play games without there being any hackers, but hackers killed that game for me, unfortunately. But never mind. So yes, I'm looking forward to that coming out, and I'll probably get some. On my previous channel, I had a couple of like highlight reel videos which I quite enjoyed making, so I think I might do some more stuff like that and just highlight like the funny bits, or like the impressive bits, or the bits that I was kind of like, oh my god, did you see that kind of stuff, and hopefully see if I can get some other people involved with making them, so I can play in a squad, because you kind of need to play in a squad with that game. Call of Duty you can kind of get away with playing lone wolf style and it doesn't really matter, but I think to get the most enjoyment and fun out of Battlefield, it's best played with other people in the same squad as you, so that you can play off each other with your different roles. For example, like the recon class, which is like the sniper, has this. I'm not even sure what it's called because I haven't played it, but you can lock onto enemy tanks or aircraft or something with this binocular thing to allow your engineer with the RPG to just launch an RPG at it, and it'll lock on and hit it. You know, it's just stuff like that which you wouldn't necessarily know that was happening if you weren't playing with friends in a squad. If you were just pubbing it, then there's a good chance that you wouldn't know if that recon class is even using that piece of equipment. They might be using something completely different, and even if they're not using something different, you wouldn't know necessarily that they'd locked onto anything. So yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing some Battlefield 4 stuff. Movies. Haven't watched a lot of movies, I'll be completely honest. I was watching, instead of watching movies, I've been watching Jesse Cox's playthrough of Beyond Two Souls, because I'm not going to buy it, because it's not really the sort of game that I'm into particularly, but it looked like it could be quite an interesting game anyway, and it is, and I've been watching that instead of watching movies, because the episodes have been like, I don't know, 25 minutes to half an hour, so I've been watching like a couple of those instead of watching a movie. But this week I have watched a couple of movies. I haven't been to the cinema at all for the last couple of weeks because there's been nothing out that I really wanted to see. But this week I watched, for the very first time, I watched The Bucket List with Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman, which was a great film. I'd never seen it before. It's been out for years and years. What was it, 2007? Yeah, 2007, and I've never seen it. And I wasn't sure if I was actually going to like it or not, because I was like, well, is it? I mean, it's supposed to be quite good, but am I going to like it? I know, like, older people that like it, but am I going to like it? And I did. it was good. I mean, it's not the sort of film that I'd watch over and over again by any means, but it was certainly worth watching. If you haven't seen it, then and you've got the ability to see it, then you should, because it's a good film, and it kind of teaches you and makes you aware of the fact that life is short, and you should try and do the things that make you happy in the time that you've got, which is quite a poignant message. So yeah, and it also has some other things in there that kind of hit quite close to home as well. So I appreciated that movie quite a lot. The other film, I just realised that the box is a bit knackered on the front, but is James Cameron's Avatar. I love this movie. I remember it was one of the first movies I saw with like the new 3D phase, you know. I don't think I'd ever been to the cinema to see a 3D movie before, and this was one. I know this was like kind of one of the first ones in this new wave of 3D movies, and I think it's still possibly one of the best movies I ever saw in 3D. Like, the way it all worked was just outstanding. Some of the films I've seen since that have been made for 3D have been a bit rubbish. Like was it the Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, the one with Blackbeard and the mermaids and all that stuff. Apparently that was filmed in 3D, but there was like one or two scenes that I actually went, wow, that looks amazing. The rest of it was just like a normal film in 3D. It's like, oh. And I guess that's kind of, I mean, because Avatar's sci-fi, essentially, and you're basically creating a whole different world, you can kind of get away with it a bit more, because it's not necessarily based in reality. So you can have floating islands in the sky. Why not? You can do that, because doesn't have to be based in reality. Whereas some of the other films have had to be based in reality, and so therefore their 3D is limited a little bit more, I think. Maybe that's why. I don't know for definite, but yeah, that's what I think. But yeah, so I got the extended collector's edition, because I haven't seen this movie since I saw it at the cinema. And it's like 3 discs, so like the movie's on 2 discs, and then it's got like a third disc of special features, which I haven't watched yet, but I'll probably be watching them later tonight, maybe. But I love that film, and I know there's lots of people that go, oh, it's just this, and they've ripped off this, and they've done this. It's like, so you could say that about virtually any movie that's been made recently. It's been ripped off. It's ripped off this, or it's ripped off that. But I think it's a good movie for what it is, and there are messages in there as well. Some people have compared it to Cowboys and Indians. It's like, well, yes, you could compare it to that, I suppose. And some people have compared it to the more recent times, the Americans, and the British, and like Afghanistan and Iraq and stuff like that, with them trying to get the oil and, you know, all that kind of stuff, controversial stuff that I'm not going to go into. But I like it, and I like the movie, and I like the sound effects. I think the music's great, the visuals are fantastic. I almost went a bit Gary Barlow there, or Keith Lemon's. Keith Lemon's Gary Barlow, wasn't he? Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Anyway, so yes, so if you haven't seen Avatar, then I think you probably should, because it's a really fun movie. I really like it. It's kind of got that kind of Star Warsy kind of vibe to it as well, with like the whole sci-fi otherworld type thing, and the spaceship type things, and it's just a fun movie. So yeah. So that's going to be. I'm going to wrap this up now for today. I'm trying to get some people together for playing some games together as like a unit with my friend Suki, who I think I spoke to you about before. I'll put a link to her channel in the description. Me and Suki are trying to get a few other people together to play some games together. So maybe some Left 4 Dead or some Gary's Mod prop hunt or Trouble in Terrorist Town, or just stuff, because it's quite hard if you don't have a lot of friends that also play online games. It's kind of difficult to find people. Well, it certainly has been for me. Maybe I'm just looking in the wrong place. I don't know. Maybe people just don't like me. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I shall hope to see you again next week, and don't forget to check out the videos on the channel. Thanks very much, and I shall see you next time. Bye bye.